Brenda. Welcome to Nana's Hidden Apron, and welcome to my kitchen. I'm going to make some bread today. It's a very special bread. It's my mama's bread. If you're familiar with my channel, you know my mother passed away a little over 3 years ago. She used to call me and say, "Brenda, honey, would you make me some of that good cake that you fix and bring me?" She called it cake. She always called it cake, but it was bread. So it's actually an apple walnut bread, but it's Mommy's bread. So let's get started, okay? I'm going to ask you all to be patient with me. I have a new system here, new setup that I'm going to be using, which is a little bit different for me. Now, to save time, I went ahead. Hang on a second here. Let me get y'all straight. Oh my goodness. Okay, I think. There we go. I think. Okay. But to save us time, I went ahead and got things mixed up. You can find the full recipe on my Facebook page. That's at Nana's Hidden Apron and Handcrafted By. So the first thing I've done is, in a separate bowl, I do have my, I'm making it gluten-free, by the way. I do have 2 cups of gluten-free flour, all-purpose flour. I have baking soda, baking powder, and salt. And what I've done is I've whisked all of these together in this mixing, in this measuring dish here. So the next thing I did was I took some walnuts and I chopped them up. And you'll notice they're a little pale. What I did was I sprinkled just a little bit of flour on these and started around. That flour actually helps these walnuts from sinking down to the bottom of the bread. Now, anything that you make, if you do a cake or anything like that, if you do that process, it will stop those from sinking down to the bottom. I have a large baking pan here for my bread. And I'm just going to give it a spray, a good spray to keep it from sticking. This is an olive oil spray. But we're just going to spray it really good all over. I've got my oven preheating to 375. Now, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to take, this is a cup of sour cream. I use the light sour cream. I prefer the Daisy sour cream. It's just a taste thing. I think it tastes the best. I can't eat this bread anymore, but cake, my mommy would tell you, it's cake, it's not bread, it's cake, it's that good. But Tom's gonna get his tummy full of it and probably gonna take some to work and share with his co-workers. That, or any of the kids that happen to stop by to get them a slice. May do that too. Okay, that is one of the small containers, but it's a 1 full cup of sour cream. This is a cup of brown sugar. And no, this is not keto this time. And in here, I've got 2 eggs that I've partially mixed, and this is 2 teaspoons of vanilla. That is awesome vanilla. If you ever go to Mexico, get you some of that vanilla. It's amazing. It takes nowhere near the amount that other vanillas take because it's so powerful. You don't have to use as much. I'm going to switch this over and use my whisk. I don't know why I didn't do that in the first place, But yeah, this is my, and that's what I call it, Mommy's bread. I should call it Mommy's cake, I guess, but I don't. I call it Mommy's bread. She always, it didn't matter what time of year. It could be fall, it could any time. She would call me and say, honey, would you make me some of that cake, please? You know, some of that apple and walnut cake that you make. I said, well, sure, Mommy. Sure, I will. And my dad, he would always call and say, honey, reckon you would mind to fix me a meatloaf? Me and Mommy sure do like your meatloaf. I love cooking for my mama and daddy and baking for them. And now, I love doing it for my children, my family. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to add this, the powdered mixture in, but we're going to do half of it, and we're going to mix it up, and we're going to do the other half. And you can use a blender if you want to. It's just one of those things where I really didn't want to dig mine out. You can use your big mixer, your stand mixer if you got it. Now that, I really have trouble getting out. Wish I had a big enough area that I could just sit up here on my counter and not worry about it. But it's okay. Tom gets it out for me when he knows I'm going to be doing something that requires the big machine. Thank goodness. Okay. Now I'm going to switch over to my whisk so we can get all those lumps out of there. You definitely don't want any kind of lumps in this, because a lump, before you get this all mixed in together, if you got a lump in there, then that's a bunch of flour that's lumped in there. You want to get that out of there. No lumps at this time. Now, in a little while, we want lumps, just not right now. Just not right now. Okay, now, let's go ahead and get this second batch of flour in there. Get it going. Like I said, this is my flour, the baking soda, the baking powder, and the salt. Start out a little bit slow on mixing this so we don't get that big poof of cloud of flour. Y'all know what I'm talking about if you're a baker. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just please listen. You don't want to use your mixer too fast with this. You don't want to stir it too fast, because it's just going to go poof all up in your face. That and powdered sugar. They will indeed. Okay. Now, let's keep mixing this some more. It is going to be a thick batter, as you see. Get that out of there. But the apples, as they start cooking, they're going to release the juice, their juices of the apple, and it's going to add moisture to this cake mix. So, yes, I said cake mix. It's a bread, I promise. Oh my goodness, I guess I've been making this bread for 7 or 8 years prior to Mommy passing. My daddy never asked for it again after she passed. He loved it. But she liked it even more. And she was the one that called and said, honey, reckon you could. Of course, Mommy. Oh, I'd love to be able to say that again. Hear her ask for it. A lot of times I'd fix it and sneak over there and say, here, Mommy, what's that? Well, that's your cake. Oh, well, thank you, honey. I was just thinking about that. She would come and say stuff like that. It was just so sweet. All right, now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to fold in these apples. Now, I've diced them up. I did not peel them. You can if you want to. You don't have to, though. But that's 2 small apples that I've diced up. And we're just going to slowly work it in there. Just fold them in. Like I said, it's a very thick batter, so don't panic and don't worry if it looks too thick, because it isn't. It's going to be so moist and delicious. My goodness. Okay, now we're going to take, you notice I've got some walnuts still left in my bag because we're going to sprinkle some on top of it. But we're going to put all of this in there, but we're just going to do like half of it, fold it a couple times, and then we're going to put the rest of it in. Now be sure and scrape the bottom of your bowl very well, because you want all of this mixed in really good. Okay, now we're going to put the rest of don't put that flour in there that's in the bottom. It's already got all the flour in it that it needs. So just be careful with that when you're doing, if you choose to do that with your walnuts. What better kind of bread could you make for fall than apple walnut bread? Well, I know pumpkin and all that. There's plenty of them you could make, right? It'd be so good. So delicious. Delicious. Alright. Now. And it's just brown sugar. There's no white sugar in it at all. Just the brown. I'm going to see if I can't get that little bit of dough out of there. Before I stick that over there into my sink. Okay, let's scrape this down. We're fixing to put it in the pan. Now you're going to bake it for 55 to 60 minutes. So, and it will take that long. So you can't cheat it. You can't cheat that time. It is necessary. Let's get that over there out of my way. Alright. Now we're going to put this in the pan. Like I said, it's thick, but don't worry about that. It's going to be. But get all that out of there that you can. Because you want that. You want that dough in there. That bread dough. You want it. Might get a little piece on your thumb that wants to jump in your mouth, but okay, we're going to spread it out in the pan. Now, I haven't made it gluten-free before. I will say that. This is the first time I've ever done gluten-free. So I'm hoping that it doesn't make a difference on the consistency for the dough, for the batter, for the cake. Keep calling it dough because it's so thick. Okay, now we're going to take the rest of the walnuts and we're going to sprinkle them over the top of this. I just got that all over me. Oops. Oh well. Things get in the way every now and then, you know. Pays to have a wet dishcloth around. Okay. Well, I can't get it open. I just had it open a minute ago. There we go. Alright. Now let's get a good sprinkle of walnuts happening. You don't have to do this if you don't want to put the walnuts on the top. You don't have to. it's just one of the steps that I've always done since I've been making this bread. So, just makes a delicious bread, that's all. Okay, now, I'm just going to put those back in there. Tom can munch on them here in a minute. Okay, that's it. That's Mommy's bread. Now, I'm going to pop it in the oven. Like I said, I've already got it preheating to 375. So we're going to put this in the oven, let it bake, let it do its thing. Don't bother it, just put it in there and let it bake for an hour. And then come back and check it out. Do the toothpick trick to poke down in there, make sure it's done. You don't want it, this is not a lava cake. It's a bread. So let's get it done. Okay, now let's get this in the oven and put it on the top shelf there. Top rack, I mean. Shelf. Shelf, not shelf, rack. Okay, and we're going to, let's see, we're at 454, so at 550, I'm going to go ahead and check it then. So we'll see y'all back then. I have been baking this for about 50 minutes now. I'm going to go ahead and get it out. Okay, it's looking pretty good. Wow, look at that. Nice, huh? Looks delicious. Definitely smells delicious. Now what I've done is I took 2 tablespoons of butter and melted it. And, well, mostly melted it. And I'm just going to pour it all over the top of the bread, just so that it'll give the top of the bread a good sorry about that. I was trying to get a knife. But so that it'll give it a good, nice, soft topping, nice and buttery. So let's see here. Just want to make sure it didn't stick. Something that I would have normally done and completely forgot to was I would normally put parchment paper on this, and I forgot. I just forgot. Okay, let's see if I can't go ahead and get this out of the pan. I don't want to leave it sitting in there. There's really no need in it. So, hang on just a second. There we go. I just want to get you guys set up on a tripod there so you can watch as I work to get this out of here. I'm just hoping that all of the walnuts don't come off the top. I don't think it will, but you never know. Now I'm going to lay the towel over the top like that. You saw me run the knife around to make sure that it was released from the pan. Look how pretty that is. How about that? Oh, it smells divine. Okay. Now, let's get it flipped back over. Didn't lose very many, did it? How about that? Not so bad. Let's just scoop those out of there, though. Scoop those out of the way. And we'll just pile them right there on the top. I'm sure that Tom has probably been patiently waiting for a slice of that. Look at there. Oops, sorry about that. I've got you on the smaller tripod now. Let me get you guys over here where there's more light How about it? Okay. Let's see ya. You don't mind all those dirty dishes over there, because y'all know I try to keep them clean as we go. There we go. Nice. Apple walnut bread. Again, my mama would tell you that's cake. So let's do a little slice of it and see how it looks. Okay. Oh, wow. Wow. Can you see all those apples in there? Isn't that wonderful? My goodness. Okay. Yeah. Tom's over here patiently waiting for his cake. All right. Let's see here. You all, I really appreciate you joining me. We're going to get Tom over here and let him take a little bite of it. He'll have to grab a fork. Of course, that's the end piece, but it is for him.
What's this little bite nonsense?
Ooh, it's definitely not a little bite. It's a big bite. Yeah, it's hot. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Now you can always add, if you wanted to add cinnamon to that, you could. You could put you some nutmeg in it. You know, a little bit of allspice, whatever you wanted to put in it. But this is the recipe that I've always made my mama. So if you make it, I really hope you like it. It's a simple bread to make, but just look at all those apples in there. Wonderful. Wonderful and nutty. Just full of walnuts. Okay. Well, that's that. That's it. You guys take care. Thank you so much again for joining me. Enjoy your evening, and we'll see you soon. Bye.